Hello everyone, I am Tacet, and today I'm going to be going over teams for the new mythic of the Wild Queen. She's currently the only mythic within Glory, Gem Guild, and VIP chests, and then she'll be in the drop table with all of the other mythics afterwards, so let's get into her then. So, as far as the Wild Queen, oops, forgot, you have to put it in the correct order, don't you? Wild Queen. So, as far as the Wild Queen, she is a support skull spammer, basically. She steals up to 26 attack, which is her magic plus 5 attack, from an enemy, and then gives it to your first ally. This is good and bad. It's good in that, generally, the first ally on your team is the one you'll want to be putting all of your attack into. It's bad in the fact that you don't really get to choose which one it goes to, but still really good overall. And she's the first of its kind to steal something from an enemy and then give it to one of your allies. So she shares it with one of your allies instead of just taking it for herself, which is kind of cool. She creates a mixture of 16 green and skulls, so it could be 8 and 8, could be 7 and 9, so on and so forth. That's going to be particularly good if a troop needs both skulls and green, if there's any kind of troop that ends up utilizing both, or you could simply just put something up front that is good with skulls or really resistant to skulls, and then of course just use the green to generate green, either off a green spammer or just back into herself, because of course she does use green. She's the same colors as the Yasmin Chosen, though with a 1 higher mana cost. The benefit of using this compared to a Yasmin Chosen is that you can, this hits through everything. There's nothing that can counter a attack reduction. Stat reductions, there's 0 counters to it currently within the game. But the downside to this is a single target ability, so you cannot use it on things that have stealthy. So I guess technically there is 1 counter to it in a way, but whereas Yasmin's Infinite Entangles can hit them even if they are stealthied. Other than that, it gets a Bone Storm when an ally dies. You could expedite this quite quickly using either a Firebomb or Sunbird, since they both kill their self out very quickly. And as far as its unique trait, it gives all wild folk 2 attack per turn, very similar to War's ability, except slightly lower. It's not really going to be too over the top, at least with what currently exists. There's not too many wild folk that are good, let alone good synergies, so not much to use it with. King Selena's is kind of nice in that it gives her half mana, plus has no mana conflict with her, so there's that aspect that you can use. Other than that, there's the Bard hero class, which does count as a wild folk, though the only problem with that is Bard's ability only works on yellow troops, and this of course is not a yellow troop. But overall, not really too much currently to use wild folk wise, but still plenty of other teams to go use it with, and that's exactly what we're going to be going over right now. So, ooh, that's a pretty big team to go into. Okay, I guess we'll go with the safest team first. Didn't think we'd be up against the meta immediately, but this is actually the strongest team I've personally found with it so far. As far as what I like using, it's pretty generic, just throw Gorgoltha first slot kind of team. Didn't want to throw this one first, but against that, I kind of will have to. So this team is Gorgoltha, Emperina, or you could replace that with Sugar, either or. This is just for the extra cleanse, and they just play it safer. We have the Elspeth, why do I keep calling her Elspeth? The Queen Jezebel, which deals damage to an enemy based on how much attack you, of the troop. So basically, this entire team, give first slot attack, plus HP, plus cleanse, plus full heal. Give first slot attack, plus deal their damage, plus armor. And give first slot attack, plus skull spam, plus green if it actually uses green. So essentially, this entire team is feeding this thing attack, is what we're going to be doing, as well as just keeping it alive. It's a kind of standard fill everything into one troop kind of team and just hope you can easily win it off that way, which we should be able to do. So we'll go take this brown here. He's going to get a bit of green there. I actually want him to cast Divine if he can. If he misses with it, that will give us all the mana we need. So we'll go do that. A little bit late on that since we kind of already have all the mana we need. But we'll go through the Gorgoltha in here, taking a lot of damage initially because, yeah, it is a Infernus. It is what Infernus does, but should just be able to get those heals in and then go from there. So should be able to make our comeback. We'll go take the yellow right here just to make sure he doesn't take it. Kind of have to do that. I guess technically I could do it with a Gorgoltha. Slightly riskier in that he might get alignment, but you know what, I am actually going to go for that. Hopefully we don't give it to him, and no we do not. We give him that 1 match over there, actually apparently 2 matches. But, well, you can deal with that. So right here, almost looks like he's about to kill out my troop down there. Hopefully he doesn't end up hitting it. Even the side damage is enough to kill it. Oh, wow. Never mind. We have a slight issue right here then, don't we? We'll go and... I guess we just hope we get lucky. So we'll go throw down first slot. Lucky enough. So we'll go and throw this down. Get the attacker ready. We'll go get on that because we can easily go and overkill. And we'll go do that right here. We can do that with the skull or the ability. I'm actually going to take the skull first. Let me take the Doom Skull just so we get some mana too, and cascade all that down. Of course, we have Stone Skin, so barely taking any damage. Go throw that down, throw it into Gurgolfa, and we should be good to go from there. So, very, very shaky start there, but it's easily going to come through and make it through the comeback. So we'll go take that. It'll take a Skull, which does almost no damage, and we can easily go reduce that down and bring it even further down to almost no damage, which is exactly what we're going to go do. Go bring that down to 2 attacks, so that will only hit 1 on our Gurgolfa if it decides to do so, essentially being 0 damage, and that number is already so small. Go for the single poke, and there we go. So very, very shaky start, but it does end up coming through pretty easily, and ends up recovering from one of the best defend teams in the game, or other than the Nyx team that's still really annoying. So here we have 4 times Dragon. I assume it's using Dragon Guard. Apparently not. Okay, 3 times Dragon. It's using the wrong hero class at the moment. I guess we'll go through the King Selena's version of this. King Selena's Captain Skullbeard, the Wild Queen, and the Firebomb. So, of course, the whole reason for using King Selena's here is because of the half mana that it gives. The final trait of it gives half mana to Wild Folk, which makes her start with 11 mana. We have the Firebomb here for the sole purpose of giving us a Skull Storm immediately. And we have the Captain Skullbeard not only for mana generation, but he does create a few skulls off his ability, which can make it so we can easily skull during the Skull Storm that we have now. As you can see, we now have Skull Storm active, so we have that going for us. So right here, I'm going to take a brown or a purple. I guess we'll take this one in a downwards motion. Make a nice little diagonal there. You'll go for a little poke. And I guess we start rolling. I am going to do this on second slot. You kind of have to predict which way you're going to go with this. Either you want to do it to... basically, every time you cast this, you're predicting if you will kill the first slot or not. Because assuming we will kill the first slot, because we'll extra turn or just get lucky or hit a skull or something, then we'd want to go and attack reduce the second one. But if we for whatever reason think we will not end up killing out the first slot, we're going to want to go and attack reduce the first one, because that's going to be what's left. So we're going to go for the second slot here. That'll actually reduce it down to 0. As you see, we predicted it correctly, and now it has 0 attacks, making it impossible for it to really do much to us, other than with Doom Skull or 4 times, 5 times. Other than that, it's not really going to be doing any damage. But basically, you just have to predict it every single time and hope you guess it correctly. It is pretty easy to do it on some boards, but other boards is a lot less predictable. Okay, he'll go and do that, and luckily... Oh, I did go back into Stone Skin. That's a bit annoying. But luckily, it did not go back into a dragon, that's for sure. Or a Dragon Soul, I mean. Obviously, it went back into a dragon. All of them are dragons. So again, right here, we'll have to predict if it will or will not die. I'm actually going to say it's not going to die. Okay, apparently I got it wrong. Luckily, we did extra turn, so it's not really going to matter since we just go right back into a poke. And then we'll go into the Captain Skullbeard, and that should create a skull. Oh, wrong ability. I did not mean to click that. I meant to click Captain Skullbeard, and hopefully we'll get a skull here that kills him. Apparently not. But we do get our ability up, and now we can easily just go cast it again. He actually got quite a bit of value there, but we'll go and hit him with skull, take a bit of his stack down, and easily goes down. And that is that. So let's go into the final team now. It is a loop team. A couple different ways that you could end up building this, depending on which way you want to go down with it. I am actually going to repick here just because I don't want to have to deal with Gurgolfa. It can easily kill a Gurgolfa if we really had to, but I'd prefer not to, as it is 75% skull reduction, and these teams that I have set up currently are all going to be skull spamming. I think I'm also going to skip the Entangle, even though technically it could end up working against Entangle. I do not want to have that liability, not to mention the freeze would make it pretty bad too. That's that other team I was referring to that is generally pretty hard to end up taking out. I also want to repick this one just because it's too easy of a battle. That one's also too easy of a battle. I don't know why people keep setting in PvP. And you know what? I guess we'll deal with Freeze. Freeze is going to hard counter this so hard, though. I guess we'll go repick one more time. Come on. Where are all the real teams? I am going to, unfortunately, skip the Revenge. And there we go. There's Yasmin. Oh, but this is the same one we were just at initially. Fine, we'll fight it. We repicked like 5 times and got right back to it. Fine. It might take a little while, though. Oh, a Treasure Gnome. Okay, well, that'll make it slightly easier, I guess. I don't think he had anything too important at first. I was mainly that Gurgolfa and the Yasmin that are the more concerning troops on that team. But we'll go, and obviously we don't use too many colors. Main thing we want to do is rush up our mana generators. Well, that's pretty much our entire team. But we want to rush up our Sea Troll and our Forest Troll as immediately as possible. Right here, it looks like we can go for our Sea Troll and then go into a double, so that will be what we will go do. Go move that over, get our Sea Troll to way beyond full mana. Unfortunately, not really that many purples on the board. We'll actually let him clear, because that might help us here. So he'll go clear out the entire board, and ooh, he has his ability up. I will need to make sure I kill him right now, and I guess we'll do that off a Doom Skull, so we'll go kill that out, just for the guaranteed kill right there. And it looks like we'll need to use this first since we don't really have a double drain. That completely misses. He will go into Yasmin. It looks like he's actually getting Yasmin loop. He's getting the loop we're supposed to be having right now. But yeah, the lack of blues on this board is definitely coming into play to hurt us a little bit at the moment. So he'll go do another one. Looks like we'll need to go and move the green over. Take a Doom Skull. But you know what? Let's go get the blues. Get the loop going some. Feels like it's barely even doing anything at the moment, but until we get it going. And now we finally have the board. About time. Took us forever. But now we can start getting the thing down. I'm going to need to do this more than I would normally do it, just because he does have granite skin, so it's actually more damage just to keep spamming that than it is to actually bother attacking it. Also, one other thing to note. Actually, you know what? I'm actually going to have to keep doing it, aren't I? To actually go do it down. I might have to use this again just to show it against not entangle. But I actually can't hit him with skulls. You also can't attack buff when you're entangled. So if we go and use this right now, we can't get his attack any higher. Oh, apparently we're just going to kill it out that way. Oh, there we go. Now we can go do something to it. And we actually got the cleanse at the perfect timing. So we'll go and kill that out and get the little bit of poke. It didn't do triple damage because, of course, he's not poisoned at the moment. It's one of the whole aspects that we're going for here is the triple damage off when it's poisoned. But, of course, it's not poisoned from having just been taken out. And, of course, we don't get any attack buff there since it already has 0 attack. But still, we get the skull and 4 gem keys. Not too bad off that little treasure gnome there. Yeah, let's go try that one more time against a team I've been trying to find. That would actually be good. Nope, that's just a firebomb team. Don't want to fight that. And, oh, that's annoying. Okay, fine, we'll fight it. It's mana drain spam. Can easily lose against this, but we'll give it a shot. Throw it into the double spam. But yeah, so far, favorite team with it's definitely the Gorgolfa lead, which is kind of to be expected, mainly because you don't really have to guess as much with the attack reduction, because her ability can easily backfire. But if you're using Gorgolfa, you don't really have to worry about that because 75% reduction is pretty high and enough that it's never really going to come into play, them hitting you too hard. Another one that's going to be pretty good is there's a new legend coming in that has 65% reduction next week. That's going to be a pretty popular first slot probably with this team that will probably be the main team I'll be using this with. Of course, that doesn't exist at the moment, so I can't go show it, but it is probably going to be one of the better combos with it, I would expect. But for now, things like Gorgolfa and just standard tanky first slots, I think work out the best. I have been finding them to work better than the high damage first slots, mainly because you're already gaining so much damage that you don't really need the extra like double or triple damage that it might have. Well, it's nice, it's not really that big of a necessity to get them to roll. So we're going to go double the green here. That will give us the board we need to finally start going. Then again, I think that might actually made our board worse. I'm going to go, normally I wouldn't attack reduce it when it's only a first slot like that, but if we attack reduce it here and it only takes a 3, it will not be able to do its drain. Never mind, it can't even do its drain off of 4 times. I guess they did change that a little while back. Forgot about that. But yeah, it can't do its drain when it has 0 attack, which is why we threw that down at it. So that's pretty nice. We'll go double the blues. Get that up. See which one of these 2 we have. Guess we'll move that first. Get a double in green, and then that should give us our ability. And now we can just keep throwing skulls at it. So we'll go throw this onto, I guess, the first slot, just in case it gets skulls and we don't kill it. But then again, that still makes it so it gets a skull, doesn't it? But yeah, that's why you have to keep predicting it correctly. Which can definitely go wrong a lot. But we'll go and take that over. Take the skull. Actually, before I do, I almost feel like this is the better move just to give us a better board. Because that's not... oh, no, never mind. That's way more than enough damage. I was going to say that wasn't enough damage. No, that is way more because we have the triple damage automatically off the poison there. And barely with 3 HP, but that will be the kill right there. But anyways, yep, those are the teams. Let me go into the other one just one more time, though. Just to kind of show it, because I don't think we had too hard of a battle. So here we go, Gorgolfa lead. So something that's definitely pretty strong with it. Or actually, we did have a pretty strong battle. It was the Divine team. I do want to go with this again. Of course, you could go Shegra or the other thing. But I did feel like this battle was pretty shaky too. So let's go redo this one last time. This is the final one. So right off the bat, obviously we don't want to take skulls. It's Gorgolfa versus Gorgolfa, so... no point in us taking them. Might as well let the AI take it every single time. We can skull into green, so now it has become a little bit more favorable to actually go for the skull, though still no point, so we'll just go move that over. Did I just give him the green there? Yeah, I think that was off a cascade, though. That wasn't visible. Almost guarantee that wasn't visible. I have to take this purple if I don't want him taking yellow off the Mercy, so I'm going to have to waste my turn doing that. It would have been much better taking brown or yellow on that turn, but oh well. Couldn't do it in that particular instance. I don't have any drops over there, so we'll just take a brown. I guess we'll just take it that way. That gives us Gorgolfa, and now we can finally get this team rolling. So right here, we haven't taken nearly as much damage as the first time we were up against this Infernus team. Oddly enough, his Gorgolfa is blocking him like crazy right now. So we'll go and throw that into first slot. That heals cleanse and gives it a bunch of attack. We can now go throw this down to actually use some of that attack, which is particularly useful because that does hit through all skull reduction and any trait reduction. So since he has 75% reduction, and this counts as spell damage, not skull damage, we could easily go kill out the Gorgolfa without worrying much about his high durability against skulls. So now we have an okay enough board. We're going to go throw this on the skulls. I will predict that we will not kill it, so I will go throw it on him. And I did predict it correctly, though we didn't actually hit him on a single skull. So he is still alive, so I guess that kind of did still work out. So we'll go take a skull here. Obviously, that hits ridiculously high. We reduced his attack, so it's only 13, barely doing anything. Go throw that in there, and now we're up to one shot, pretty much just off of that, with nothing else. We'll go get our mana back, so we'll go steal even more attack into it. And at this point, we could even just go into Yasmin pokes if we want. It will be a little bit annoying in that I don't really have a good way to get rid of all the barriers. I can get rid of one with a Gorgolfa, so we'll go do just that. Attack, reduce it just in case it doesn't die, which ends up coming into play. Of course, we have Granite Skin, but that makes it so it does even less damage, basically down to near 0. So we'll get that down, even more attack, take the skull, and one more skull will knock it out. Of course, you can use a Shegra here, and I think in this particular battle, Shegra actually would have worked out a bit better, but of course, this is a little bit more of a safer bet. You can use it to heal any of your allies, as well as get rid of any kind of status effects that might be on you. Of course, Gorgolfa has that naturally, but sometimes it gets silenced or some kind of other effect on it, where it can't get up quick enough and wouldn't really be able to do anything against the... it wouldn't be able to get its ability up quick enough compared to an Emperina, since you have the +1 going right into it. They also end up lowering its mana cost a couple patches back, the Emperina that is, so now it's only 13, which does make it pretty easy to 2-turn these days compared to before. But anyways, guys, that is pretty much everything with the new troop. Is it particularly over the top and something you should get? Probably not. I feel like most of the other double convert skull spams are pretty much the same thing as this. In a way, this is essentially just the same thing, except with a weird attack reduce plus buff on it. So it definitely has its purposes, definitely going to be really strong into the future. Definitely above average as far as mythics are concerned. But as far as, is it like the new Infernus? No, it's nowhere near that. Maybe with Doom Skulls it might be. We'll have to see how the synergies are. But based on what currently exists, it is nowhere near what some of the better mythics are within the game. But definitely still above average and above the average troop as well as the average mythic. The only people I would say it would be worth going for is if you're planning on running skull spam teams as your core kind of teams. And if you're really planning on going heavy into Doom Skulls when Doom Skulls ends up coming out in next week and getting all that kind of stuff like the 2 new legends are coming out. The brown-blue one in particular, I believe, is going to be really good with the 65% reduction. But other than that, if you don't really intend to ever really use skull spam teams, definitely not something you should be going for. You'd probably sooner go for Yasmin and just get an infinite loop web spinner into Yasmin before you'd bother going into this troop. So do keep that in mind. But anyways, that'll wrap it up for this video. If you still have any other questions, feel free to leave it in the comment section below. Thank you all so much for watching, and have a wonderful weekend. Goodbye, everyone.